Howdy, welcome everybody. My name's Matt Brady. I'm the winemaker here at SAMsARA, and I'm here today, straight from the cellar, with our cellar master, Neil Kennedy.
Hey everybody.
And we're here to present the new Spring 2021 Wine Club release wines. What we have here are 2019 Chardonnay from Zotovich Vineyard. It's a brand new release. And Neil, is there anything noteworthy that jumps out about this bottling?
There is, in fact. This is the first Chardonnay that we bottled unfiltered. So it fits right in with our minimalist approach of winemaking, and super excited about this wine.
Yeah, and the Zotovich Vineyard really, it's the site that allows us to do that. It's cool climate, Santa Rita Hills, really high acidity. And that produces a wine style that's really fresh, clean. That high acid nature of the wine keeps it really stable, and it allows us to do this really minimalist approach to the winemaking and bottle unfiltered Chardonnay. And this particular vintage is just tasting so good. It has a little extra weight, a little extra flavor concentration, and is just really, precise and spot on for what we want. All right, well, we have our next offering. It's the 2018 vintage Syrah from Colson Canyon Vineyard. And we just talked a little bit about the Colson Canyon Vineyard site out in East Santa Maria. But Neil, what makes that site really cool for Syrah and makes it an interesting part of our program?
Yeah, so in the lineup of our Syrahs, this is coming from a little bit of a warmer climate than the Santa Rita Hills sites. And because of that, you get a little bit more of a riper fruit profile, a little bit more fruit forwardness, but it makes for an amazing Syrah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's still made in that SAMsARA style where we're doing a lot of whole cluster and we're trying to lean towards the savory, spicy elements. But yeah, that slightly warmer site makes this wine just a little more fruit driven and, especially relative to some of our other Syrahs. And it's tasting really good. It's just nice and dark and has great concentration and really great balance. It's showing great for a young wine, but I got to think that down the road this will be pretty interesting as well.
For sure.
All right, for our next wine, we have the Colson Canyon Vineyard Grenache 2018 vintage. And Neil, let's talk about Colson Canyon Vineyard for a second while I pour this wine.
Colson Canyon's out in East Santa Maria. Doesn't quite fall within the Santa Maria AVA, but it's in the similar area. Really cool site. And then we also use quite a bit of whole cluster with this Grenache here. Yeah,
that's sort of the whole cluster style is something we really believe in for all our winemaking, but we find it especially well suited to Grenache. Grenache can be fruity and fresh and ripe, and giving it that density and complexity with the stem inclusion and adding to the texture really makes this wine and makes the Grenache that we produce at SAMsARA a little more complete. Let's taste this wine and see what it tastes like.
Yeah, so super light on its feet. Some nice red fruits in there, but that little bit of whole cluster provides a little bit of depth, a little bit of concentration of the fruit as well, a little bit of acidity going on.
And super good texture. I think the stems give us texture, and that's a core thing for all our winemaking, and this wine just really coats the mouth and goes down easy.
All right, now we're going to taste the Rio Vista Vineyard Pinot from 2018. This is actually the first vintage that we're releasing a wine from this vineyard. And Matt, could you tell us a little bit about the vineyard?
Yeah, well, it's a new site for us, and we really kind of slid into Rio Vista because we heard our good friend Ken Brown was giving up his block of Pinot there. And the block that we source from, it's actually, the vineyard itself is kind of on the east end of the appellation off of Santa Rosa Road. So it is a little warmer out there, but the block that we're getting Pinot from is the last block within that vineyard to ripen. So it gets that longer hang time, and that's hang time is really getting that physiological ripeness, and that longer hang time really gives us those flavors and the balance that we're looking for. So we're excited to be working with the vineyard. Most of this fruit goes into our Santa Rita Hills bottling. But as we were bottling, we discovered that we had these two special barrels. So kind of at the last minute, we decided to do a special 2-barrel bottling just for the wine club, and we bottled this wine unfiltered as well. So it's kind of a neat offering, and Here, let's taste the wine real quick and then talk about it.
Yeah, I'd say in the scope of our Pinots is on the lighter end of the spectrum for us. But yeah, lots of concentrated red fruits in there. Lovely aromatics as well.
Yeah, it's got a prettiness to it. I think you're spot on. It's a little bit more like bright red fruit as opposed to dark and heavy, but there's really a soft textural element that's really great.
Yeah, quite round, yeah.
And just a solid, complete Pinot Noir. So I think this is another crowd pleaser.
Absolutely.
All right, well, enjoy. Cheers.
We're on to the 2015 Lotus Pinot Noir. As you can tell, a little bit of a different presentation. Matt, will you tell us what Lotus is all about?
Yeah, so the Lotus for the Pinot and then the Homme for the Syrah, they're our top tier of bottlings where it's really the very best that we can produce every year. So they're not vineyard designated. As Neil just said, they have this special packaging, the artwork done by a friend of winery owner Joan and Dave's, Dina Torkos. And so we've got this special packaging really to let everybody know that the stuff inside is extra special too. And really what we're looking for when we're doing those barrel selections, this is a 2-barrel blend of the very 2 best barrels of Pinot Noir for the vintage. And what I'm looking for as the winemaker, what Neil and I are looking for as the winemaking team, are those barrels that really stand above the rest of the barrels. So wines that are more aromatic, more intensely flavored. They're a little more powerful with a little more concentration, maybe a little more structure so they can be extra age-worthy. We're really just looking for the very pinnacle of what we can produce each year. And the reason it's not vineyard designated is each vintage, you get that superstar barrel from a different source. So some years it's Rancho La Viña, some years it's Radian, etc. And the Lotus Pinot Noir is just supposed to represent the very best of what we can do in a really kind of pronounced way. So yeah, let's taste the wine.
You know what? I beat you to it already. Tasting that, it goes right to what you said. It's powerful, it's concentrated, it's complex, super age-worthy, I would say. Even after 6 years already, I can tell it's got a lot of life left in it. So yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, it certainly has that complexity, and I think it's one of those bottlings that has the wow factor, and really, for us, stands above all the other wines that we're really proud of as well. So, we hope you enjoy this, and thanks for tasting with us and joining us on our wine club journey today. And cheers! Enjoy the wines.
Cheers.
All right, thanks to everybody for joining us today, tasting through these new wines and learning a little bit about the wines and the vineyards. We really appreciate your club membership and all your support, and we're hopeful that for our next release, and sometime very soon, we can have folks joining us here in person at the winery as we start to see light at the end of the tunnel. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, and also just really looking forward to hearing all the feedback and on these wines. They're newly released wines, a lot of them, so looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Well, thanks for your continued support, and we hope you enjoy the wines. Cheers.
Cheers.